Yo, what's going on, boys? So, in today's video, I'm running a triple Gohan team. As you can see, I'm running Adult Gohan, Superhero Gohan, and Z Ultimate Gohan. And I do think this is a rather strong team because I could transform with two characters and Z Ultimate Gohan does do a good amount of damage. My opponent here is running Whis. I get debated. I thought he was AFK. I tried to respect the AFK, and he just catches me off guard and immediately takes 10k health from me. So that's just a lesson. If you come across someone you don't know and they're AFK, there's no obligation to respect that shit. Just hit them immediately. Who cares? Like, I try to respect it, and 90% of times they don't even respect me back. They don't even acknowledge it, and they just start attacking me immediately. Not to mention, this guy is super delayed. You can see I don't even mean to do a double sidestep there. I just sidestepped into a super, so I basically lost Adult Gohan because I tried to respect the AFK. Anyways, as you guys can see from the top left corner, the notorious watermark. Yes, I was playing on PS5 yesterday. I don't play on PS5 very often because the timing on PS5 is different. A lot of people still don't know this, but there is inherent hardware delay when you play on PS5, so I'm just not used to that kind of timing. You guys could see sometimes it is affecting me because I do miss a lot of Vanish Wars. Not to mention there's a lot more people on Wi-Fi on PS5, so it's a little more frustrating to play, but it's nothing that I can't get used to. Sparking Zero on PC is very dead. I'm basically playing the same 5 people, and those same 5 people, especially on DP, tend not to pose much of a challenge for me. There's a lot more sweaty players on PS5 and a lot more people playing meta, so although it might be frustrating in the moment to play against, I do enjoy the challenge. Like, this guy's playing Whis. I honestly rarely come across any Whis players on PC. A lot of people on PC are playing for fun. Like, they're probably just playing for mods and that's it, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it could get boring if I'm not fighting anybody who's posing a challenge to me. So a lot more people on PS5 are sweaty, a lot more people on PS5 play meta. So yeah, you'll probably see me on PS5 a little more often. I did grind to top 100 on DP yesterday in a few hours, so that was fun. Probably will be making my videos on PS5 now. It's just better to come across a multitude of people. Like, I tried making videos while playing on PC, and it's just like I come across the same person every time, and people want to see me play different people. They don't want to see me play like one person or like 3 other people, or like play a random S rank. It's interesting when I fight other Z ranks, and especially if they're playing meta and I'm trying to play a more fun theme team like I am here. But yeah, that's all I have to say in terms of that. Let's talk about this gameplay. I'm probably not going to commentate too much. I'll talk about things that happen when it's important, but yeah, I'll see you then. So he downs my Ultimate Gohan. Out comes my Superhero Gohan with 3 skill points. I should stall to get the transformation, but I see him charging at the spark. I disengage, transform, and I see him swinging on me. I hold perception, and I get a sway. Transformations are a little weird. I do believe you get slight priority when you transform, which is a little weird. Not to mention, transforming turns you around and makes you face your opponent. So if you transform and you see your opponent swinging on you, try to hold perception. They'll probably end up hitting into your perception. And I take match 1, which if you remember, I basically immediately lost my adult Gohan because he debated me with that AFK. So imagine doing that and still losing the match with Whis. Some people. The funny thing is that if he switched his Whis more often, he'd probably beat me because he would be able to gain some health. He has Vegeta as a second character, but his Whis is basically a one-man team. If he switched more often, he'd probably beat me. Which, take notice of that in the second match. You just look at his switch gauge and how long it stays full for. That's 5k health opportunity he's missing out on. Okay, here, his switch gauge just filled. He could switch for a 5k health regen. And if he does that, he'd be back to almost full health. Down's my adult Gohan. That's huge for him. He could switch here. He could have charged to a full ki gauge and switch, and that could have sealed the win for him. Like, that could have been his win condition there. But instead, he approaches me, I super counter with ki advantage, so I win the Vanish War, I knock him back. And these knockbacks are really important for Superhero Gohan because it's just wasting time for me to gather skill points. I'm at 2 skill points, I could almost switch. I did take a lot of damage, but it's fine, I'll regen that through a switch and my transformations. He's still not switching, and he's taking more damage. He does have a regen at his disposal, he uses it, but throughout all of this time, he could have gotten like maybe 10k health off of just all the switching he could do. Still refusing to switch his Whis. Whis is so strong, so any health you could gain on a really strong character like Whis is just hugely advantageous. Okay, he finally switches his Whis. Throughout all of that time, he probably could have switched Whis back and forth 2 or 3 times, and that would have been a total of like 10 to 15k health. But for me, I'm quite happy his Whis is not on the field anymore because I could mollywop his Vegeta, and this is good for me. Vegeta does a lot less damage, so I have my Gohan out on the field, building switch meter, and also building skill points for my transformations. I think this Vegeta has Explosive Wave and he's just refusing to use the Explosive Wave. Alright, I get my transformations off. I really needed that. Now my Gohan is back to being relatively healthy. And Beast Gohan is very, very strong. He transforms to blue. He could have switched back to Whis, but I get why he transformed to blue. Maybe he just needs a higher damage character and hopefully he could down my Beast Gohan without risking his Whis. But fortunately for me, I win the engagement and I down his Vegeta. I personally probably would have just switched to Whis before I transform, get that 5k extra health on Vegeta. Maybe I could win the engagement with Whis before my Beast Gohan could switch out. If not, then I'll have to sacrifice Whis and then turn to Blue Vegeta with that extra 5k health. Like, I always peddled knowing to switch your characters in DP. Switching is not as strong as it used to be, but it's still very strong. Why wouldn't you want to take an extra 5 to 10k health on your strongest character? I think characters like Whis, Gogeta Blue, so-and-so, all these high DP characters, they're so strong because of their extra health. Why not give them even more health through switch regens? Take note of this combo I'm doing. You'll see I do a full charge Ki High to push him into dash distance. I dash at him, I charge a Ki Blast, and I catch his sidestep. A lot of times when you push your opponent away and then you dash at them, they will sidestep. So if you just charge a Ki Blast, you'll catch their sidestep. Of course, you have to wait to let go of the Ki Blast and you have to time it, but it's really not difficult to time. And it's easy to catch sidesteps with a charged Ki Blast. It's very, very strong. Here, I'm just playing it slowly. I don't want to get caught in a Whis combo with my superhero Gohan. I'm just trying to gather skill points and also gather switch meter. Same mistake from my opponent. He is just refusing to switch his Whis. All while I'm switching my characters and gaining health and gaining skill points. For some reason, he tries to pop a regen in neutral. I catch him, I punish him, and now his Whis is in danger. I have the key advantage here. I'm gonna win this Vanish War. He finally switches his Whis out. But it's a little too late. I do the same thing. I knock him away a little bit, dash at him, catch his sidestep with a Ki Blast. Do it again. In that situation, if you're in that situation yourself, you just have to deflect the Ki Blast. Just know it's coming, and be patient with your sidesteps. At a certain level, people will know how to bait out your sidestep, or people will know the situations where a lot of people are just mashing sidestep. Do not mash sidestep. Be patient. Look if they're charging a Ki Blast and just deflect it back at them, and then that'll be an open up opportunity for you. And I win match 3. Good games. Alright, let's move on to set number 2. I will say, in this new meta, a lot less games are going to time up. So that allows me to show multiple sets. Whereas in previous meta, where games always went to time up, I was only able to show one set, so here's a second set for you guys against another opponent, Zan the Vet. He was on a 13-game win streak. He must be pretty good. So I'm prepared to sweat, especially seeing God Topo. God Topo is very, very strong. He's extremely tanky, especially against a character like Adult Gohan, who is only 4 DP. So with that being said, I'm gonna try and transform to close that DP gap. I choose to transform to Super Saiyan 1. The reason being is because I don't want to spend that extra skill point for a character that's basically the same. I would choose SS2 if I was going against a character that had super armor. But you can see, I got an explosive wave there to save myself from that engagement. And I had that explosive wave because I saved that extra skill point going to Super Saiyan 1 instead. Not to mention, I do prefer Super Saiyan 1 because he has better punch reach than Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 2 does have Rolling Hammer, so that is useful, but I don't really see myself needing Rolling Hammer necessarily. And my Gohan survives there, more than likely because I just had that extra skill point to save me in the beginning. And I netted a huge positive in that engagement. My basically 4 DP character, because remember, I start in base adult Gohan, so that's 4 DP on my team. My 4 DP character did a lot of damage to his 8 DP character. So I netted a huge positive. But you can see he is running Super Saiyan Broly. And of course his goal is to get to Legendary Broly. And you can see he's using Revenge Counter a lot. He's burning his skill points. And it's kind of unnecessary. Revenge Counter is a risky tool. I would only use it to gain key advantage. It's very easy to punish. All you have to do is press Perception. Whenever you see your opponent use a Revenge Counter, immediately press Perception, always. Because you'll either end up catching the Revenge Counter and you'll get that cool little cutscene, or you'll just gain priority and you'll be able to punish. And it's not difficult to do. You have to learn how to super counter. When people started punishing my Revenge Counters, I got way better at super counters because I just have to. I have to super counter. And that is quite a hot topic because people consider it an exploit, which I do think it's a little weird that you press Perception and then you gain priority. But I will say that if you're playing a really good player and they super counter every single first string, and they also had a Revenge Counter that went to true neutral, that would be really, really annoying to deal with. You would not be able to get a hit on your opponent. But here you can see I do a Revenge Counter, but only because I'm trying to bait him into perceptioning it and burning a skill point. He doesn't fall for the bait and instead guards it. Regardless, even if he perceptioned it and burned a skill point, he would have gained that skill point back and be able to go to Legendary Broly. Legendary Broly is very strong. You can see here, he hits me with an untechable grab, and his grab resets. Not every grab resets. Z Broly's untechable grab resets. So if you get caught by that, the combo is going to reset, and that's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. I believe there are a few characters with untechable grabs that reset. Majin Buu is one of them, the 6 DP Fat Buu. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly is one of them, and I think the only other one is Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Super Broly. The Super Saiyan, the 7 DP one. But yeah, I take that first match. I do think he's revenge countering a little too often. At Z rank, you have to know that revenge countering is not safe. You have to be really good at super countering mid combo. Like I said, you can see I almost never revenge counter mid combo. I am only trying to look for a super counter, a vanish, some sort of step in or side step, maybe a super perception, but I rarely ever revenge counter mid combo. Even if the priority thing didn't exist, it's so easy to catch a revenge counter with perception that I still wouldn't revenge counter mid combo. But here you can see he has a very, very strong start. He is destroying my adult Gohan. I managed to get a Wild Sense off in the middle of his combo. A lot of people don't know, but you could Wild Sense a lot of Rust Chains if you just hold it. You could hold the Wild Sense input, and if they do anything with a small gap, you will be able to get a Wild Sense off. And And if you know your opponent is doing that, you can bait it out. Like, I know when my opponent is doing it. If I see they're on a Wild Sense character and they're not super countering anything and they're just getting hit by everything, I know they might be holding Wild Sense, and I bait it out. So as you can see, I used Wild Sense there, I sidestep his low sweep, and here's another thing that's strong about Wild Sense. If they super counter me, and I just let that super counter hit me, my Wild Sense will dodge it. And then I'll be able to extend my combo off a Ki Blast Zebra Stash from the Wild Sense. And that's very, very strong. A skill that could dodge super counters. Like, super counters are the strongest mechanic in the game. They could help you get off combos, but if I could avoid or nullify the super counter from my opponent, that could be very, very strong, and I take advantage of that. Which, this game, you know, is quite a simplistic game when it comes to combos. Like, the combos are not difficult to learn. What is the difficult thing to learn in this game are the defensive mechanics. So like, being really good at super counters, knowing when to press super counter. If you're just randomly pressing super counter, that is not good. You should be timing your super counters. The mid combo super counters, you should be timing it. You should know when to press perception. You should be patient with your side steps. So in this game, it's the defensive mechanics that you have to master, whereas in other fighting games, a lot of the mastery comes from the combos. So with that being said, to play the combat in this game, you have to know how to nullify your opponent's defensive options, which is how I play the game. When I'm fighting an opponent, I'm thinking of what defensive options they're going for. Whether if it's, for example, what I'm doing against my opponent here, a Wild Sense. I personally know how to bait out Wild Senses if that's what they're doing. I know how to nullify super counters or avoid super counters. If my opponent is the type to hold perception mid-combo, I try to bait out that. If my opponent is a sidestep spammer, I know how to bait that out, as I pointed out in the first set, where I dash up to them and hit them with a charge Ki Blast. Which, this engagement right here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So at low sweep, I missed the ground grab, and because he's spamming sidestep after the low sweep, I'm able to catch the sidestep. Which, I've talked about this in a previous video. The way to catch a sidestep is, you just gotta be holding a direction. So, up, down, left or right, just hold a direction and your character will keep track of your opponent's character. You will maintain alignment, and that is one of the most important things, is maintaining alignment. So always be holding a direction. If you know your opponent is going to be sidestepping, move around, you'll be able to catch them, so long as you time it correctly. You can hit them with Ki Blasts, you can hit them with normal rush attacks, you can hit them with a smash attack, so long as you are maintaining alignment through holding up, down, left or right. Any direction will work. Do not stand still. So here you can see my Dark Gohan is locked in for a while because I just switched him in. He's low health, so I'm just gonna play him to the death. I transform to Super Saiyan 2 because like I said, I would choose Super Saiyan 2 if my opponent is on a Super Armor character, which he transforms to Z Broly, who is a Super Armor character. And you can see I baited the sidestep there with a smash attack. Because I'm holding a direction, I'm maintaining alignment with my opponent. And that is one of the most important things to learn in the game, is knowing how to punish sidestepping. Playing a little more passively because I want my Gohan to survive. Thinking back on it, it's kind of unnecessary. He only has Broly left. I should be able to win the match. But then again, Broly is a sweeper. He is capable of killing my whole team. My entire team. And this is a very scary situation for me. I'm not very healthy. Well, actually, I do have a good amount of health, but a sparking mode Broly is capable of taking all that health away. I do a good job of stalling his sparking mode out. And you can see how much damage he's doing to my Gohan. And that's game 3. Good games to Zan the Vet. And that's it for the video. If you learned something, like and subscribe. I'm probably going to be on PS5 a lot more often, like I said earlier. Unfortunately, I don't enjoy the PS5 experience as much because there's just a lot more people on Wi-Fi. Like I said earlier, there is inherent hardware delay on the PS5. I mean, it's something that I could get used to, but PC experience is just a lot more smooth. But it is what it is. Sparking Zero is on its last leg, or whatever the saying is. It is what it is, like I said. So yeah, have a good day, you guys.